So this next video is about steps to build a customer service agent right after your new meeting responder. So you have already set up your whole new meeting responder multi-AI workflow. Now we're back to just a single AI agent with a customer service agentic workflow that starts with a form submission that you will be activating and then adding the details from that form onto your basic CRM. But this time, instead of the new leads or the new meeting, you will go to customer inquiries. So this gives us the idea that hold on, let me just, okay. This gives us the idea that your form, whatever you're going to be building out with N8N, will be about customer inquiries. It will catch customer inquiries that will be logged onto here as customer inquiries in sheet within basic CRM, then will be processed by this customer service agent, complete with the details that you have logged from your Google Sheets. Then your Grok API you have used from both the new meeting responder and the new lead notifier. You'll be using it on this workflow. You are still keeping your structured output parser on here to be able to organize the information you'll be sending out to the person that inquired through the NAN form. So you'll be sending out a response to their inquiry using this Gmail node with the email drafted by the customer service agent. So as per usual, you would upload that specific file of this entire workflow onto your N8N workflow. So you'll be clicking on download. Once done, you have it loaded here and on your computer or laptop. Then you'll be going to your N8N, clicking on plus sign. So this was your whole new meeting responder multi-AI agent. So that's that. You would go to workflow, to personal, or wherever you had saved your projects on. Then on the three dot icon, you would say import from file, and you would select the latest file you download, which is the customer service. Awesome. So once done, you would see the entire workflow already set up for you, already connected to each other. But the only thing that you need to do is to set up your form. So this is pretty different from the Google Calendar form that you have, the Google Calendar appointment scheduler that you have set up. This is because this is going to be a form that's not going to be used when people want to book a meeting with you, but instead want to reach out to you because they have a customer inquiry or they need help with something that they need to be processed. Okay, and you can start your whole customer service ticket and customer service, let's say, progress in check with whatever they inquire about through the email thread that you'll be starting from with this Gmail node. So, okay, you're on the setup. Make sure to hit save just so you don't lose your entire template. You could already save this as customer service agent, for example. All right, so name it to that. And so you would double click on form submission node, which is to add the necessary form elements to capture the customer's details plus the message. So executing this workflow will pop up your NAN form. So ensure that this is good to go and does not have any errors. And for us to kickstart, you would rather deactivate some of the nodes on here so that when you hit execute workflow or execute step, we don't get an error that says to fix other discrepancies or technical errors. So on form submission, you're at the parameter section. This is where you would see your form in production mode or as a test URL. Test meaning you're still testing your form. Production means that your form is now made live. So for best practices, you would put in your production form here. It says problem loading the form because we have not set it up yet. So put none for authentication. That's it. Then form title says customer inquiries. Form description, let us know what you need help with. Cool. Form elements. So what do we need to input? Customer details. For example, first name, place holder would be your name. It's set to this is a required field. Element type is text, but with an ends form, you can upload a file either in PDF format or on PNG, JPEG. But I've I've figured that it's easier to use PDF format so that the PDF readers can, if you're going to be adding these PDF readers into your workflow, it can read the data on the PDF file because it's the system is more stable in comparison to OCR, or basically the system that has the ability to read images. Unless if you're willing to pay something of a premium price, that's when you're going to get a stable OCR that reads images, whatever it's on. Like basically, if a receipt, a screenshot of a receipt, is able to read the sender, biller, your name, your account number, your reference number, and all that, the amount. So it's better to use a PDF if you were to test this out and let people read whatever file you'd upload. You get the whole end workflow to read that, then it's best to have it in PDF rather than in JPEG or image. I have to repeat myself so that kind of makes sense how I'm trying to explain things. But for now, set this to text. Then add form element. You could say last name, but for to get things quickly set up, you'd say email address. Your email address for placeholder, then set to email so that whenever the person puts in the wrong email address or has a typo on the email, that the form can detect that it's an invalid entry, rather than if you had it on text, then it would allow any type of text, may that be a misspelled email, being inputted by the user to be accepted by this form. So you don't want that. On field name on here, you could say message. What do you need help with? Or say, let us know what you need help with, require. Okay. So this whole trigger um gets the workflow working when a form is submitted. All right. Ensure to toggle off append any attribution. So let's execute the step. You'll come to see your whole workflow on here. But if you don't, stop listening. All right. If we don't toggle this off and it's on, when you execute step, you will see the difference and identify that this is an edit and labeled branded form. So let's wait for that. So form automated with edit N. If you don't want people to see that, then as you stop listening, you will toggle off this option, append edit N. Okay. So that's your first step. When you see that you're satisfied with your whole form details, such as name, email address, and your message, plus you don't see an attribution on here, then that's where you start inputting details like someone's name. You say admin at AI Gen Society, for example, as an email, but you could input the email that you have appointed for this entire workshop or walkthrough, so that when you receive a customer service agent email, that it is sent there and you're able to read it there. Message is, please help me log into NEN, for example. Very basic. Submit. Once the form is submitted, then this whole trigger outputs the following. So you don't need the usual structured output parser node on here. This is the beauty of having forms or using forms when taking in information from someone rather than email or a message. Everything gets organized for you because it was inputted in different form text fields, right? From name to email to message, it's already separated for you. So you only need to be um, passing this data onto your next node, which would be the Google Sheets file. So once again, after you have logged into the Google account, you copy the basic CRM with which is on here. You continue to resource which is sheet within document. Make sure that the operation is still pretty much the same, which is append or update row. And ensure that the document selected is basic CRM and the sheet is where you change it from new meeting, which was used a while ago, to customer inquiries. So let's be patient with how long this loads. And then for customer inquiries, you've mapped each column manually that is being selected. And then you need to match to email column as best practice because you want your end to base the entire data being passed on and formatted to different apps such as Google Sheets to detect the email so that whenever there's an email, then you're able to process also the name and message because there are times when a person doesn't provide their email and they had done so provided their name and message that you're not able to respond to them back, and that's kind of sad that they're expecting a response from you because they did not input their own email. So have email used to match every entry being passed on to Google Sheets. Then once again, drag in name onto here, drag in message right here onto message field, then execute step. Sometimes you might also put in the timestamp on here, but for now we don't have that option. But you could always add it to the basic CRM called timestamp, and then put in the timestamp that when this form was submitted. So when we execute step, we should be able to see information then populated like this one. So it was correct. It was from Ange through this email or with the email that they sent out for us to respond to then their specific message, which is accurately identified to help them with logging into NAN. Okay, so there's that. So the output response matches with the basic CRM customer inquiries sheet. Cool. Next up is now that you have set up your NAN form trigger, then selected Google Sheets append or update row function onto basic CRM sheet customer inquiries to catch new customer inquiries. This is where you activate customer service AI agent and ensure to pass on the following information to customer service agent parameters. So you would have user details typed out, such, then start with name, drag and drop, email, and then message. Cool. User details from customer inquiry form. So name of person, email, and their message. Ensure this time to toggle structured output parser so it gets to separate the AI agent's email address it will send the whole email to. Separates that from subject line it creates and then the content it drafts. Okay. And then after you've done that, go back to your customer service agent and ensure that your whole system prompt has been copied and pasted on here, which you would come to see here. Once you copy and paste this entire thing, you could tell the AI agent and with best regards ensure. So I had this two break line tag separated, so you could delete the space between the break lines for better output. So best regards, um, customer service. Perhaps you can say um, Bailey customer service. I have no other way of saying it. Best regards, Bailey from customer service. All right. So once you execute the step, you should be able to see. Hold on, what happened? So what you need to check would be one of the subnodes being separate, which is a chat model that should be supplied. So as you can see with this type of error, a chat model subnode must be connected and enabled. This is what happens when after even we've set up Grok using the API key that you have um, set up a while ago with the new lead notifier and also the new meeting responder. And even when you have chosen the specific model, let's try to choose Llama 3, that you need to be connecting the AI agent onto here. So you can now hit play, then it processes the whole message. From input in system message instruction, it now has outputted the email, subject, and content separate from each other with the following format in break line tags. So there's that, which is cool. Okay. So you could see the entire response with table or JSON if you want to read the JSON formatted response. But the table you come to see, you start with Dear Ange down to Bailey customer service best regards. Now we ensure to set this up with the Gmail node so that you're able to send this to the person. So just as you've done from the other previous NEN workflows, make sure that your Gmail account appointed for this entire workshop has been logged in using credentials. So pencil icon, sign in with Google. And then once you've done that, resource should be just message again. The operation to be made should be send message, send to, drag and drop your email subject. So the email item on here, drag and drop subject on here, and then drag and drop the content here. So ensure email type is in HTML, so it translates that break line tags are separate from each other, basically separating sentences from each other. Then to toggle off append N8N attribution, sender name should be Bailey, customer service. Okay, that's cool. So we try to execute the step, but to ensure we do not have any new messages coming in from customer service or whatnot. So you try to test this whole workflow out, execute the step. Actually spelled customer service wrong. My bad. Okay. So on here, you would see a new message from customer service from Bailey. Okay. So there's that. Going back, let's try to fix some errors on here. We've done that for the sender name, which is great. And there's something I have to change within system prompt, which would be where the comma should be placed. Hold on. Right. Okay. So this is how you'd be editing out your prompts. So when you execute the step, you would see a comma after best regards instead of spaces after. So save your changes, then hit send to Gmail, and you will come to see a new incoming message from Bailey customer service, login issue with Dear Ange, down to best regards, their name. I like actually customizing messages the customer service agent would have to send to clients making inquiries. One part that I'd like to add would be the three-step action plan, which ensures that the person inquiring knows that you understood their inquiry, you understood their problem, and you're about to fix it with this three-step action. And you ensure that there will be progress within the next 24 hours. So there's that. That's cool. So let's try to test this out live. So there's the active workflow on here. Set the active workflow product general on. So the entire thing is available through this link that we can submit an inquiry and receive an email about it. So let's open that link. Like I said, this whole workflow is now active. So through this link, I would say, Ange, say, yeah, agent word message should be, I need help understanding the different nodes within the end platform. Cool. Hit submit. Wait for a few moments, and you'll come to see new data being passed onto your basic CRM, and then actually receive an email regarding my inquiry. So hold on. So there's that. We find a new row added on here. Then on Gmail, we have received a new message from the customer service agent that says, thank you for reaching out, down to addressing your concerns in a 3-step process, expecting an update within 24 hours. Best regards, Bailey. Perfect. So that's how it looks like when the link is live for your and form for anyone that wants to reach out to you. Okay. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. I'd also invite you to the next program, which would be about building no-code AI systems. That will be at the last part of July, and details on that will be passed out and sent out to you soon. Then we will be also launching AI Gen Society in the first half of July for you guys to learn and build with generative AI so that you're able to build and workflows such as this, gain access to workflows that are plug and play ready, and also techniques in building out a whole, let's say, agentic system that has a front end or a landing page website that is client fronting or client facing, and then the whole AI system in the backend.